Is there a name that you can think of that we either didn't mention, or the name like, yeah, that guy that we mentioned, I absolutely want to see him. If you, again, gun to your head, because I love the metaphor, pick one person that you really want to see come back. Oh, have a Rumble comeback that would actually
Nick,
be
you're
like,
up.
Yeah, we're going to start
buddy.
with Nick this time.
You got to give me a minute.
Oh my God, we went through a whole bunch of names here.
Right, it's true.
Like, how can you...
Don't say Big
tough.
Dick Johnson.
Yeah, Big Dick.
Don't say Big Dick Johnson.
Hornswoggle. Rodney's son, Aiden.
He might win it.
Number 30 in the Rumble.
I'd be there in his corner. Hey, I'm all right with doing a low blow and a chair shot to get him with the W.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I somehow I just had the feeling that was the way that you were going to go with it.
Damn it, I should have used that. That's a good one.
Yeah, and you know what? I still think if he wanted to, I still think he's got a run in him. It's a short run, but I still think he's got a run in him if he wanted to do it. He seems very content doing what he's doing now. He live off the interest of the money that he's made for the rest of his life.
He's doing the podcast thing as well, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I quite enjoy his podcast, but
I've yet to listen to one actually.
It's, you know what? It's technically speaking, it's not the greatest thing I've ever heard, but content-wise, it's quite good. He's got a run in him if he actually wants to do it. If he doesn't, that's perfectly fine. But if he does have a run in him, there goes another can.
That's number 14.
That's number 4. Yeah, exactly.
You guys are drunk on caffeine.
We just have a pile of cans.
Slightly off camera.
We're saving the best for last.
Yeah, we are saving the best for last.
Oh, good
and
Lord.
we picked one up for you as well.
Oh, geez, this is great. This is great. I'm on the spot. I don't know what to say with this. You know, there's a lot of faces I think that I've seen over the years that, like you led up to say, you never want to see your favorites leave. I'd like to see some surprises for me being kind of a 90s and an Attitude Era guy, right? Mm-hmm. Whether or not you would want to see it again, you know, I don't know. It's a tough one for me. I really don't. What's yours? The spot. Here's a buck. Take it.
Cross ice pass. I really, really, really would like the idea of. I think I'd actually like the idea strictly from a pop standpoint, strictly for just like, oh my God, the reaction you would get for this. Is Warrior. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a performer. I think
it's hard to respect him as a performer.
It is
after
one
everything.
of the only things in that terribly biased Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD
Oh, Lord.
that I
DVD.
totally agreed with is the fact that he ran to the ring and ran around and did all his theatrics or whatever, but then he's blown up.
Yeah.
Then
he gassed himself up just getting there.
Out, and that's why his matches last 12 seconds. Yeah. So that on that level, I totally agree. But the pop that Ultimate Warrior would get in showing up to the Rumble, something that you didn't think you would probably ever see again, is, I think, just for on pop alone would be worth it. So I think that's the way I'll go with it, I guess. As a huge DDP fan, I'd love to see DDP because like I marked harder than most people did during that whole when Heath Slater was doing like the Legends sort of thing, and DDP came out after one of his matches and gave him the Diamond Cutter. I was just like, yeah. The crowd was just kind of like, yeah, we kind of
flawlessly,
remember you.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, we kind of remember you. I was like, fucking three time. Self high five. Yeah, so I mean, so DDP on that level would be the one that I would love to see come back.
I suppose for me, and it's very self-indulgent. We've mentioned it. It probably would be Jake Roberts. It'd be very self-indulgent. I know he wouldn't be able to come to the ring and clear out the ring. There's just no way.
No.
Not that he couldn't physically maybe still go a little bit. It's not a believable storyline anymore.
No.
But it would be nice to see him.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the past 2 years, he's been tweeting it, you know, that it's his dream to do one more Rumble. That's all he wants is one more Rumble. So, you know, for him having gotten better, fought off his demons and his addictions, got himself back healthy enough that it is a possibility without breaking his back or his knees.
Right.
Let the guy do it. Let him come in one side,
Why not?
maybe let him throw out 3MB because nobody gives a shit about 3MB, right?
Right.
Let him throw one of them guys out, and maybe somebody dumps him off the other side. But hell, it was good, and he'd love it. So
Yep.
and I would love it. I would love to see it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
you know what? That would be a great vehicle for Ambrose to get heel heat.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they had the whole thing with the snake.
Oh, so
Ambrose gets the one over by
could dump
knocking him back.
Yeah,
in.
you're right.
Exactly. And then it's like, there you go. And Ambrose is like, I got revenge.
Yep. It would
right?
be good for him. It
I
would
think
be good
I
for
think it would
Ambrose.
be good.
Good for everybody.
Yeah,
right?
I think it would be good all the way around. Of the 18 people that we mentioned who's confirmed, and I can give you the names one more time if you want, who do you want to win it? And pick one. Who do you want to win it and why?
Just one.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
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 I figured that was the way
Yeah.
that you were going to go with it.
And it's nothing against a lot of the other guys. Batista's awesome too, and I think they could do a lot with Batista. But Reigns has been coming in, and he's been getting some heat behind him. He's beaten CM Punk twice now.
Yes.
And, I really think that he could do a good run, and it would be nice to see him maybe push the Shield off to the side and go and do his own thing, and I think he'd be successful at it. So, this could be the vehicle for him to break away and do it. And hell, he's already proved he's the strongest member of the Shield, so maybe you see him dump both other members of the Shield.
Yeah, yeah, actually.
They said they're going to be unified, but hey, it's all for one and all for one.
Yeah, all for one, and there's no second option
No.
there. It's all for one and all for one. What about you, sir?
Me, Dean Ambrose.
Is Ambrose. So sticking with the
Wow.
Shield, but going another way.
I am definitely.
I want to
going
hear the back
another way.
behind this.
Okay. For me, Dean Ambrose is a very, very good wrestler. I mean, I love what he does in the ring. I thought about it before, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want Daniel Bryan to be in the Royal Rumble and win it, because later on down the line, it's like I want him to have the title and then feud with CM Punk. Because that would be so awesome. Just have
See them go one more time.
Yeah,
Bryan go one more
Bryan
time.
and Punk.
It's like, but that would be later on down the line. I mean, you can't do it now because that would be another
And
one going.
that's
there.
number 15.
That would be a thing, like later on down the line when CM Punk is almost ready to retire.
Yeah.
Or go, like you said, go part-time.
Right.
So for right now, what better than to get somebody who's excellent in the ring, like Dean Ambrose, go win the Royal Rumble, maybe go on to WrestleMania and win the belt. Then I don't know, just think of the matches that he could have, like Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose.
It could be very good.
Yeah.
It's just the possibilities that I just think of. It's just like, oh my god.
This is performance pornography. This is great.
Good Lord. The temperature increased in here. I'm not sure why. Nick is steaming a little bit.
It looks like the boss is heading out. Thank you very much, Mr. Richards, for taking the
boss,
time
man.
to listen a little bit. I said, hate to listen and leave, but the night is calling me. Ambrose for Prime Minister. All right. So I guess you got the boss's
There you
endorsement
go.
on Dean Ambrose there. For me, I think it begins and ends with Batista. Batista's coming back for a reason. He's gonna be elevated to that level. Whether it's as a babyface or as a heel is yet to be seen. I never liked Batista as a heel because
No.
I don't
was
think
a very poor
they ever
heel.
took it the wrong way. He always came off as a very whiny heel.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you're not Chris Jericho. Like you're not that.
You're not
kind
a
of-
small guy. You can't be bitching and moaning all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't play off.
No, and like the way he quit in 2010, he's just like, I quit.
Wasn't he in a wheelchair for that?
Yeah, he was in a
Yeah.
goddamn wheelchair and shit. And it was Cena that put him there, and it was just like, oh, God.
It's even less believable.
Exactly. Exactly. That is even less believable. But like, I'm very invested in the idea of Brock Batista feud, because
Yeah.
you have the mixed martial arts background in there as well, and
that's true.
You
that's true.
basically have a built-in rivalry there. But then again, of course, that's booking versus writing, and WWE writes, they don't book.
Yeah.
So you never, the major difference there is booking is like, okay, you two, you have a problem with each other. Here's what your problem is, go. Versus, here's the promo I wrote for you, and here's the promo I wrote for you. And so that's the major difference there between booking and writing. But in any case, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Batista win this Rumble, go to Mania, probably against Orton, I would think. Well, I mean, if he comes back as a heel, it's going to be against Cena. If he comes back as a face, it's going to be against Orton.
So it all depends.
We know what the
whoever
title
wins
picture
that match. If
Yes.
Batista wins, we know which way it's going.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. So I mean, I think Batista's back for a reason. So that'll be the reasoning there. So that's the way I go with it.
This
anyway.
being said, where would you like to see him come in the Rumble? Would you like to see him come in around the middle, or pull off a Shawn Michaels and be the first one in and the last one?
I don't think Batista's got the gas tank to do that, to be perfectly honest. Certainly based on his MMA career. And again, I like Batista, but his second fight especially was.
You know what? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch his second fight because it wasn't worth. It wasn't worth my time. The first one was bad enough.
His second fight was embarrassing. And he fought, in terms of his MMA career, he fought two guys that we lovingly refer to in MMA circles as tomato cans, and barely beat the first one, and the second just looked embarrassing in the second one. So it doesn't surprise me he hasn't had any more fights. Speaking of embarrassing in MMA, there's Brock Lesnar. So there's another reason
impressive
for their
debut,
feud
wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I beat up a guy that I outweighed by at least 50 pounds.
Yeah, but he lost.
No, but I thought you were talking about his fight with Min-Soo Kim outside of UFC.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
Yeah, no,
You know what? I never saw that.
No, he destroyed the guy because he outweighed him by like 40 pounds, and then he went in and fought Frank Mir and got his ass heel hooked
and
because
tapped
he
out
wasn't
like a little bitch
because he wasn't very talented, and They always talk about, Brock Lesnar will be in the UFC Hall of Fame. He was 5-4.
Yeah.
Or 4-3 in the promotion.
How about putting Frank Mir in there?
How about putting Frank Mir in the fucking Hall of Fame? Multiple time heavyweight.
How about
there's a big line of heavyweights
right.
in front of Brock Lesnar, much less everyone else.
Yeah.
In any case, we'll get off of the MMA topic.
Okay.
Should we debut our little surprise here for Honest Rod?
A little bit late, so let's
a little bit. We have just passed the 2-hour and 10-minute mark.
Oh, good
this
lord!
This is a new record.
It's getting outside of our 3-hour podcast extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think we could talk all night about this stuff.
We probably could. But let's debut our little surprise.
Okay.
Here.
All right.
So while Nick prepares our little surprise, we'll go back to some of our non-wrestling stuff. Maybe we'll do just a couple of quick hits here. I think we'll forego the stupid recent news segment because that'll probably take us straight 2-3 hours. But I got a couple of quick hits. Yeah, exactly. Got a couple of quick hits here. We talked a little bit of television earlier with Duck Dynasty and everything like that. Have you watched the $10 million Bigfoot Bounty on Spike?
No. Although I'm a fan of Bigfoot.
Well, fair enough. But
I'm excited by this. I want you to explain it to me.
All right,
I don't really watch Spike much, so explain it to me.
So basically what the idea here is...
Lord.
Yeah, exactly. Nick's bringing out the beer, so we'll go to the taste test after this. Basically what it is it's a show on Spike hosted by Dean Cain.
Where has he been?
Former television Superman.
The former Ripley's man?
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Where has he been?
He's been sitting in a...
bloated, dead on a toilet.
Sitting on his fucking chair, waiting for his phone to ring.
Sitting in a puddle of his own vomit.
Exactly. And what it is you've got these teams in like a Survivor-style reality show out butt-fuck nowhere in the woods. I think it's back in Baker Settlement.
On the Baker Road.
Exactly. With a bunch of these teams of people who are total morons. Just vapid idiots. There's no other way to put it. Who all believe in Bigfoot. As a matter of fact, there's one team where the guy very nonchalantly says, "I've killed 2 of them."
I did see that clip,
and that's his fucking tagline for this show.
Yeah.
I have personally shot 2 of them. So, do you have any evidence of this? No, but I saw it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll write jackass.
Exactly.
That would not have made you the wealthiest man in the world.
No, exactly. And they have a $10 million fucking bounty.
So are these guys going out and hunting for Bigfoot?
Yes, they're going out like at night and shit, which makes no fucking sense.
And beating trees with sticks?
Yes, beating trees. Beating trees with sticks, collecting fucking poop samples because it's all like they bring it all back and analyze DNA in a fucking mobile lab and shit.
Turns out this was Rick, our product designer.
Exactly. There are no fucking outhouses out here, so Rick had to go drop a load.
Apparently he wiped with some rashy leaves.
So this basically it's oh my god, fucking ridiculous because these people are so stupid.
You said Dean Cain. It's a Dean Cain show. It has to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Exactly. A Dean Cain reality show, as a matter of fact.
Good Lord.
This show is proof that we will watch anything as television consumers.
Oh my god, we're media whores. We love us.
We'll watch fucking anything because I forced myself for the purposes of this podcast to listen or to watch the first 2 episodes. And my brain just came out of my fucking ears.
He says that he forced himself. He's got the fucking poster in his bedroom. Yeah, guaranteed. It's a big Superman Dean Cain ripping his shirt off poster in his fucking bedroom.
with the $10 million Bigfoot Bounty logo on it. Dun, dun, dun,
oh, definitely. Definitely.
Fuck. Yeah, the show is the single stupidest thing I think I've ever watched in my life.
Have you ever watched The Bachelor?
Yes. Yes. No, fucking Bachelor. I used to watch Temptation Island.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw an episode of that.
The C-tier. The whole premise of a reality show is just like, fuck as many people as possible on this island.
And do it as whorishly as possible so we all can watch it.
If you get pregnant, you get the $2 million.
First one to get pregnant wins exactly. Temptation Island.
It's like Debbie does Temptation Island.
Good
like
Lord.
just ridiculous. And yeah, it's so bad. One thing I just really wanted to point out, there's these 2 Native American guys. Big fucking guys, like bigger than Remy. Just really big dudes. And before they go out on their hunts, they do like wheatgrass, like
smudging?
No, not even smudging, like prayers. Like
okay.
They light it on fire and they're just like incense and bless everything or whatever. And I was just like, okay, that's probably a little racist because I think these guys are Mexican. So I think this is a little racist, but that's okay. But they had this thing which is like a microphone. And they're like, this is a phonographic microphone that amplifies Bigfoot sounds. I'm like, no! Microphones amplify sound.
It was engineered specifically for the sound of Bigfoot shits.
Can you tell me what a Bigfoot sound is? They're like, no, but this catches it. Like, what the... Oh, my fuck, this is so terrible. Yeah, so everybody make sure that you watch...
I'm going to YouTube this.
Make sure you watch the $10 million
I refuse
Bigfoot
to watch
Bounty.
it.
If you single-handedly make this show the biggest hit on SpikeTV, I'm going to come in here and smash this shit because there's just no way this is okay.
Now, let's think about this. The biggest hit on SpikeTV is not. We're not exactly
it's
shooting
not even
for the
relevant.
stars on that one.
This isn't relevant.
We're like shooting for the top of the rose bush. Like,
but isn't TNA on Spike TV? Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
There's that word relevant again.
About that, yeah. All right, we're going to divert away from the quick hits for a second to bring back a fan favorite portion of the podcast, which is the no holds barred taste test. So what we've got here is a beer that we have never tried before.
No.
I've never heard of this before.
It's called Innis and Gunn, brewed in small batches, handcrafted Scottish beer.
With a rum finish. We couldn't go with the original because the original just didn't sound right and we're men. So
it's a full-bodied Scottish beer bursting with fruit and spicy notes.
Exactly.
Handcrafted by Mexican children in flip-flops.
And 2 of those children went on to star in the $10 million Bigfoot Bounty.
They played Native Americans. Oh my gosh.
That has a weird smell to it.
It's got an interesting smell, an interesting aroma.
It's got kind of, I hate to say it, but it got kind of a weed smell to it.
It does.
Well, I actually like that smell. Wow.
See,
it does kind of actually. This
Yeah.
is like that
Rod-
smells like skunk weed.
And Rod has a contact drunk.
Hey, I need somebody to come pick me up. I'm drunk.
Honey, I'm coming home.
Woo.
Yeah. So
Wow.
again, we had a fear when we were getting these because we're like, what if Rodney's straight edge?
Rodney actually has been attempting straight edge for a long time.
Oh yes.
And it's funny about the being on a horse. You keep falling off every time you drive by the liquor store. You're like, oh look, there's beer. I like beer.
This must be a very shaky horse.
This horse, it's a motherfucker. It keeps
actually
kicking
a bucking
me.
bronco.
It is. It's a bull actually.
All right, so it is time to do our little taste test. We will cheers to that. Beautiful.
All right, guys.
Let's give her a go.
That's actually not bad. Oh God, there's the aftertaste.
And there is the rum aftertaste.
There's the aftertaste.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like the after. You know what? Initially, when you get a nice drink of it, it tastes really good. It reminds me of Heineken a little bit.
Okay.
But that aftertaste, if I got drunk off of this, wow, I would smell terrible the next day.
Yeah, and the rum
try it again.
aftertaste definitely hits you. It hits you right away, and there's a little bit of fruit, like a little bit of sort of a fruity taste when it first
good
hits
God.
you. But then, poor Rod. Courtney, Rodney's gonna need a ride home.
I was straight edge till I got here.
Exactly.
I haven't drank in at least 18 hours.
The No Holds Barred podcast, robbing people of being straight edge since 2012.
I was sober till I got here. Wow.
Yeah, for a guy who
I'm honored to be in on
likes
that, by the
to
way.
drink Appleton and Sailor Jerry's.
So
just
you're a
on the
rum
rocks.
drinker.
Yeah.
You guys are both rum drinkers, aren't you?
I like rum.
Yeah.
Amaretto's my drink. But
Rum makes me crazy. I'm one of those guys from New Germany that you've heard tales about. Like,
those
hey,
guys.
I knew this guy from New Germany, and you give him some Black Diamond rum, and he'll fucking do anything.
he fucked a cow once.
You know? Oh God,
That's
Yeah.
me and whiskey.
Summer
that's you and
nights.
whiskey. See,
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
good on whiskey. I mean, I'm
We
a
have a
whiskey
couple
guy.
of horror stories.
We have the couple that we've shared on the podcast in a bunch.
Did you say horror stories or
Horrid.
horror stories?
Horrid.
Horrid.
Little column A, little column B.
Sprinkle a little column C on there, and you got yourself a goddamn party.
Exactly. So let's finish this off here with a couple of quick hits. We got one about video gaming. We got one about the Nova Scotia government, which is always fun. We'll start with the one about the government because it seems to be the silliest.
Dicks.
Dicks. The Nova Scotia government is apparently making changes to legislation that they're going to start legislating electronic cigarettes in the same way that they legislate regular cigarettes. The idea being we don't want to promote the quote unquote the culture of smoking anywhere in public places, which I can understand the idea.
But are they talking about e-cigarettes or with nicotine, or are they talking about these electronic cigarettes that are just flavored vapor?
Either one. Electronic cigarette in any
So they want to
fashion.
stop glorifying the act of smoking. As
Supposedly,
a
yes.
year and a half reformed smoker, I kind of agree with it. I don't want my son to ever smoke. I'd beat him like a dead dog,
Right.
if he ever did that. But at the same portion, you can't take people's rights away from them, and they're not lighting up in public. If it's an electronic cigarette, it's water vapor, man.
Yeah.
You can't. How can you
It's
justify
not
that?
hurting ya.
No. You can't get a secondhand
No, there's
anything
no.
from vapor. It's just like
Then it becomes a personal choice
Yeah.
which it should have been all along. You're not harming anybody, only yourself.
right. And the way that it stands right now is individual businesses have a choice.
Right.
They can say, yes, if you have an electronic cigarette, it's fine in my establishment, or it's not. So right now it's up to business owners, but the Nova Scotia government wants to take that into their hands rather than the hands of individual businesses and say, no, in any business in Nova Scotia, whether your e-cig has nicotine in it or not, you cannot light up in
Wow.
in a public place. And again, I don't think any of us disagree with the principle.
Neither one of you are
the
smokers,
culture.
No.
Yeah. I've never smoked, never will. I watched my dad
Good on you.
die of cancer from it, so I'll never
sorry,
touch
bud.
it. But if it's not something that's actually harmful, I'm all for anyone, because I watched how much he struggled with trying to quit, and he tried everything. So if something is working for this person, but then now you're going to start regulating it and telling people when they can and cannot use the thing that is keeping them from smoking the real thing,
they might go outside and light up the real thing.
you know what? There's always the possibility. So, to me, it's like, I don't think you can start legislating this with a clear conscience.
That's right.
We'll put it that way.
That's right.
It is.
Like, it just seems fucking dumb.
The government in general, this is a topic we won't heavily get onto.
Right.
The government in general tends to just make as many jobs for themselves as possible. So somebody sitting in an office needed to justify his
salary,
$98,000 a year that he gets, and say, hey, let's this e-cigarette thing is getting pretty big. Let's fuck around with that, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And again, it's keeping like the tax dollars and everything that
that's right.
the government gets from the sale of cigarettes.
That's right.
So unless they start taxing the e-cigarettes in the same way, then there's the people that will argue, well, the government's losing money on it, so of course they're trying to legislate it and blah blah blah. Blah. Nick just stepped outside because his fucking fire department pager started going off.
Oh, sweet. There's snow outside.
Is there now? Oh, well, that's nothing major.
It's not really a surprise considering there's like a millimeter of snow on the ground.
So everybody's like, "Oh my
I'm
god!"
probably going home after this.
Yeah, I can't say anything. I don't drive, so I can't criticize anybody. But still, seems a little fishy whenever there's a little something weather-wise going on. Everybody goes,
I no longer can drive. I can no longer function. Oh, look at
yeah,
ditch.
exactly. Ditch. Hello.
If I go in a ditch on the way home, I'm going to be fucking livid. It will not be my fault.
Rod, you're a video gamer to some degree.
To some
Are
degree,
you?
yeah.
Right on. Do you have any of the next-gen systems? PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, nothing? No, fair enough. I just wanted to take a quick peek for the people that listen to this that are gamers. Why would you be listening to this podcast? But in any case,
Because they might be wrestling fans too.
Well, that's true. Fair enough. You want to play WWE 2K14? Well, you got to get a new system. Just the sales between PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah.
PS4 still outselling them. It's PS4's moved 4.2 million, I think, units since it came out in November, versus Xbox, who's moved about 3 million. But Xbox beat PS4 sales in December, which is what is really important. They moved almost 1 million units in December. So
in that short period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And outsold the PS4, so that gap might be closing a little bit. And then there's the poor Wii U. The Wii U suffers from not being as powerful a system, obviously, and the idea that Nintendo only makes kiddie games. Like they suffer from a lot of things.
They do.
And they had their third consecutive quarter, I think it was, of not just dwindling sales, but of financial losses for Nintendo, which is not good. And they've lowered their expectations for the number of units to be sold in this year by 70%.
Well, I don't think I own a Wii and a PlayStation 3, and I enjoy both of them. Uh-huh. The Wii is fun to play with the family. It's kind of campy,
Yeah.
I would not go out and buy the new Wii U or whatever it is because it's the exact same console, except now you've got this little fucking thing you can put on your lap.
You've got the fucking Death Note.
And now you can disassociate yourself further from the other people in the room and stare at your crotch instead.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair enough.
It's the iPhone thing.
Yeah.
Who's staring at what crotch?
We are staring at yours.
Impressive, Stevenson.
Impressive, yes, exactly.
Your fly is down.
The little...
Oh, God. And then he checks.
And then...
Oh, good Lord. He's finished the neck of his beer and he's hammered, folks.
And that's when we killed him, Your Honor.
Who are you?
That
was priceless.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Like, if I was one of those like sort of hardcore-ish gamers who wanted to have more than one system, I would enjoy having a Wii U as my secondary system.
Yeah.
Because like there's games on there that are fun to play, and like Mario, you can only get that there.
Yeah.
Zelda, you can only get them.
Who
there.
doesn't love the classic Mario games? Right?
Well, exactly, and the newest Mario games are really good.
Yeah.
So I would want to have that as my system secondary to my super powerful all-in-one home entertainment, whatever it was.
Yeah.
For me, it would be PS4. I'm a Sony
for me, it
gamer,
would
and I'm
be as
loyal.
well. Yeah.
So I would have the PS4. But I'd love to have a Wii U as my secondary system because it's cheap and it's fun games like Bayonetta, The Wonderful 101, really fun games.
Yeah.
So I would like to have a Wii U as my secondary system. I would buy that before buying an Xbone without question.
Yeah.
If I was no, I'm not. But if I was a hardcore gamer, that's kind of the way that I would go with it.
As far as gaming goes, I'm very the opposite of what you call hardcore gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I own the wrestling games. I own 2K14 for the PS3. Mm-hmm. The UFC games and a few other games that involve guns and killing shit, right?
Right, fair enough.
Just like every other guy who likes to do that, right? My son, on the other hand, is quite into the gaming, which the whole next generation really is, and he wanted the Wii U. He really liked the Wii U, and as well the PS4, so I think he would have made the exact same choices as you would have. And if he was allowed to be, he would be a hardcore gamer.
Right.
And those were his choices. So I would say the Xbox, at least in our household as well, would lose again, so... I've never been an Xbox guy.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I played a little bit of Halo, but not certainly not to the degree of a lot of other people I know.
Well, it doesn't have enough to draw me in, for that reason alone, right?
Fair enough. We have been joined in our chat stream by one half of TCW's preeminent tag team, Mr. Rick Owens.
Interesting.
From the R&R Express.
Wow.
Good day, sir.
Welcome.
He said, welcome, Rick. And he says, did I miss any TCW talk? Unfortunately, you missed all the TCW talk.
Shameless promo.
Yeah,
shameless
there you go.
Promo.
We've been going since, 6?
We have been going since 5.
You guys have been going since 5.
TCW was around
6.
6 o'clock.
Yeah. What do you want to know? What do you want to hear us say?
Exactly.
Shamelessly.
Yes. What shameless plugs would you like us to say, Mr. Owens? And we will do it as long as the check is in the mail.
Yeah, you can make that out to cash.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Courtney just said that. You were discussed. In fact, as a matter of fact, you were in the context of the tag team, the R&R Express. We did do a little bit of talk about. He laughs. Check. We did talk about TCW, tag team wrestling in TCW. What we'll be doing, of course, we'll be cutting this show together and putting it on our YouTube page, youtube.com/noholdsbarredpodcast, and we'll make sure that's made available to TCW fans, and make sure that you guys can hear everything about what we talked about. Well, you know what? We're at the 2.5 hour mark. I wonder if maybe this is a good point to. What's that?
Low.
Well, yeah, exactly. I wonder if maybe this would be a good point to cut it off for this show. And,
hey, that's cool with me.
And we'll.
I've had a hell of a
us
time, guys. I got to say thank you so much for having me on. This has been
you're very welcome.
Blast,
thank you for coming.
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
No problem, man. Yeah. No problem. It was a long drive. I had to battle, to get here. It was such a long drive, all 3.5 minutes of it.
All 3.5 minutes to come across town to go way out of your way.
Yeah, I thought about just yelling from my balcony, but the mic might not have picked it up.
Well, we do have good mics. So next time we'll have to try it.
Well, we'll give it a shot.
Next week, of course, we're going to be back with the Last Fan Standing wrestling podcast one more time, previewing the Royal Rumble that goes down this weekend. On Sunday, the 26th, I think it is. Royal Rumble is one of the biggest events of the year for me. It's probably my second favorite event of the year. Definitely. After Mania. So we're gonna have a whole hour dedicated to talking about that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We are glad to be back. We took couple months off there, but we are very, very glad to be back and doing this again. One more time, just want to thank Honest Rodney Bruhm for
No problem, guys.
for coming on here, and where you're so close, we'll be getting you on here again.
Excellent.
Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode number 27 of the No Holds Barred podcast, with a little extra special last fan standing tossed in there as well. I am Justin.
And I am Nick.
And this was Honest Rod.
There you go. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to see everybody next week. Peace out. Take care. Later on.
Later.